Shutdown clock?
Yes.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our live. Hello, Joe. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome
Hello.
everyone. This is so exciting, Joe. This is our very, very first live. And we've already
Yes.
got viewers. I can see that we've got viewers there. It's like, hello, viewers. Hello, everybody in YouTube world. Welcome to our
Perfect.
live.
And you may see my background's a bit different because where I live, we've got a blackout. So I am logged in at Alchemy. So that's really cool. So this is this is
Cool.
my reception area at work.
Thanks for having a plan B, Joe, because we love that. This afternoon, we've got the message, Charles, there's a blackout. What are we doing? And let's go. So well done, Joe. This is good. So I've got a comment already. I think comments are coming through. Abby Blue Witch, hello, everyone. Well, hello, Abby. Good evening and welcome. So those of you that have just, look, see, Abby's comment is on the screen, guys. You can do that through the live chat feature. We are live. And this is where you can write your questions, okay? Because Joe and I both have expertise in different fields, lots of different variations in fields in what we do.
Yes.
So if you've got questions you want to ask, please go ahead and ask us, because we've got some manuals as well, Joe, to guide us, haven't we? We've got, I've got my ailments book. We've got Joe's book. We've got the Dictionary of Dreams book. So we're going to help you here tonight understand what's going on. And Joe, what have you got there?
I've got You Can Heal Your Life, where it's got the meanings in it. And then I've got this one where it's Love Yourself, and it's got all the, the meanings of different ailments that you may have. So it's pretty exciting.
Love it, Joe. And it's funny, I did a QHHT session today, and it was a 7-hour session. It was amazing. At one stage, it's like, oh my God, it's not working. And then all of a sudden, it just went boom, and off we go. And that was one of the biggest messages. Love yourself. Because this person that I was doing the healing on today quite clearly didn't have this emotional love for themselves, and their heart space was blocked. And it's really interesting what happens, because you can create your own problems. So one of the questions, look, guys, we're going to be here for an hour, so we're going to get going. But one of the questions I got today, Joe, was, can my thoughts hurt me? What do you think of that question? So can my thoughts hurt me?
Well, I think that your thoughts can limit you, definitely, in terms of, if you have very little self-worth, it can limit your thought, like what you think you can do in life. So, so what doesn't literally hurt you, but it can hurt you in the ways of, you're living a life very small, What do you think, Charles?
Yeah, well, it's funny. The reason why this came up today, and I was like, I paid it more relevance after this session today. Can my thoughts hurt me? This person was in love with somebody, but just didn't have the confidence to make it happen. Was always planting a seed of doubt, all of this sort of stuff. And what really happened was, and he didn't know what was happening, he gave himself a heart attack because the heart was disconnecting, and he had a heart attack. And it's just like, so can my thoughts hurt me? The answer is yes, they can. So it's got to be a case of, now you got to keep your minds nice and clear and focused on what you want to create for yourselves, not focus on what's not working for ourselves. Does that make sense? That was a really interesting question. And I thought, wow, okay. Because I've never looked at it like that. And if you had to ask me yesterday, I would have said, not really, but it's just a mindset. But that was a very interesting way of looking at it. So that was one of the questions, guys. If you've got questions, you can either use the live chat, okay? You can use the live chat. And if you don't know how to use the live chat, go to the Charles and Joe Show Instagram page. You've got to follow that. But you can always ask us questions there, okay? So we want to answer all of your questions. That was one of my questions that I received during the week. Here we go. Abby's come up with another question. Love this question, Abby. So not all thoughts are real, though. Is that right? Well, that's an interesting question, because not all thoughts are real.
No.
What do you think of that, Joe?
Well, sometimes some thoughts are, if you're overlaid with negative energy or other people's energy, those thoughts can be like of their influence, I would say, you know.
Yeah.
And then, it also depends on your limiting belief system, if you have one of those, of, that they aren't real thoughts. They're, your subconscious thoughts of what you actually think you deserve or feel, So no, I don't think all thoughts are real.
I
No.
agree. Sometimes it's the ego playing tricks on your mind. So,
Yes.
good question, Abby. What I always like to do is, if I think something's not right, what I would go and do is stand in my backyard or go and stand on the grass on the nature strip, and then ask myself the question again. So I'm grounding myself, clearing my
Yes.
mind because I'm actually taking my socks and shoes off and standing in the grass. Then I'm going to
Yeah.
ask myself that question again, and it's like, is
Yeah.
this real or is this mine?
Good.
And then that way I can differentiate whether what I'm receiving is actually mine or is it my thought just deceiving me? Okay.
Yeah.
A really good question with that is, if you want to read a book and it's a heavy book, it's like reading the phone book, is A Course in Miracles. Okay. Course in Miracles deals with how the mind is one when we're born and how it
Yes.
separates after we have thought and what we think. And then the ego comes. So it's a really good discussion book
Yes.
about that. So not all thoughts are real, though. That's right. So good question, Abby. I really, really like that question. So then what that does, that leads me into another question. Okay. I got a few questions that were sent to me. So I'm just going to go through them. The second one that I got was, is this stuff that I'm feeling, is it mine? Okay. Is
Good
this
one.
stuff that I'm feeling, is it mine? So that ties in with what Abby just was talking about, because not everything you feel is yours. So how can
No.
you differentiate whether this is yours or whether it's not yours? Okay.
I would ask Archangel Michael to come in and clear away my energy.
Hmm.
So then, like, clear away all thoughts, concerned, overlaid energy, any form of attachment. So I would ask him to come in with his blue cloak to clear that. Then
Hmm.
I'd also probably ask my dragons to come and flush through my energy or my chakra
Yes.
system. Um,
Yes.
then I'd ask for a rainbow spectrum of light from the divine creator just to flush through and fill all my energy. And then I'd ask the question again to myself.
Good.
And
I like it.
sometimes might want to let that just all sit in for half an hour, because when you go to the shops and you get home and you're all cranky and you're a bit agitated and whatever, it's often that you're overlaid with everyone else's energy that you've made eye contact with at the shops. So
Yes.
I often think by doing a quick clearing will help with all the thoughts, if they're yours or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll say to people, so I'm a big one for going for a walk. And I'll say to people, let's go outside. Let's go for a walk. Okay. Because when you're outside, you've got the fresh air, you've got the sunlight, you've got the
Yes.
birds, you've got the consciousness all around you. And
Hmm.
what I will do is I'll just clear my mind for a few minutes, do some breathing in. And when I say breathing in, I'm taking a few nice deep breaths to clear everything away. And then I'll say to the
Yes.
universe when I'm outside, and I've been outside for about 10 or 15 minutes because my head will be clearer. Okay, I only want to feel what's mine. So if this is not mine, take it away and send it back to whoever it belongs to. Let me feel what's mine. And it's really interesting that you'll feel a shift. If it's not yours, you'll sort of suddenly feel lighter and it will
Yes.
go. And it's like, wow, okay, I don't really need to have this. And then I set an intention with the universe of, um, I don't want to feel other people's things. It's enough that I have to feel my stuff, and it can be really heavy sometimes. I don't want to
Yes.
feel other people's things. So I don't want to feel that. So set the intention that I don't want to feel, because a lot of people are empathetic and they feel everybody's stuff. And then some days for these people, they can't get out of bed.
Yeah.
So that can be problematic. Do you know what I mean? So that's a really interesting thing that people need to start asking themselves. Is this my
Yes.
stuff? And if it's not your stuff, find a method like Joe. She'll bring in Archangel Michael. She'll bring in the rainbow spectrum of light, and she'll get it cleared. I'll go
Yes.
for a walk and just make myself present in the universe, and then I'll reset after about 10 or 15 minutes, and then off I go. Send us a comment if you do any of these techniques as well, or what do you do that might work if you're feeling other people's energy. Okay, here we go. Another question. Abby, you're firing. I love that for you, Abby. You're so on the mark and you're so technologically savvy. We love that. How do you know when it's past life feelings or a current timeline? Whoa, deep questions. Okay. I want to have a stab at answering this one because sometimes past life feelings can trigger you in this lifetime if you're going through the same experience. Okay. If you're having the same experience, something that's happened to you in a past lifetime can influence what you're feeling now to make it really, to make the experience solidified, to make you really, really want to pay attention to this experience. So I would say your past life feelings will come into your current timeline to enable you to feel it and deal with it. Because possibly you haven't dealt with this in the past lifetime, which is why I'm experiencing it again. Does that make sense? So you might have to feel it. So, classic example from today, this person was a musician, didn't do it properly in the last lifetime, was shown to be a musician in this lifetime and hasn't done it properly. So the universe is making him really try harder so that he can get 2 lifetimes worth done now in his last part of this lifetime. So past lives do influence your current lifetime. So it could be a case, Abby, that your feelings from what you're feeling are from a past lifetime tied into what you're experiencing now in this current lifetime. What do you think, Joe? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I actually think sometimes it's also like our karma, whether it's good karma or bad karma, whether with a past life with we're trying to clear it. So,
Yep.
because sometimes I'll have people that are sitting in with me and they're like, how is it that all these things are happening to me? And
Yep.
often I go, I feel like you're clearing past life karma. So,
Yes.
or you're accruing it for the next lifetime. So you have a really good next lifetime. I
Yes.
often think when it's a past life feeling, I've had times where I've done something and I've never done it before and I was really good at it and I really shouldn't have been. And I feel like it was like a soul cellular memory of how to do it. Or I often think sometimes when you've gone somewhere and you go, oh, I've been here before, it feels so familiar, or you've met someone and it feels really familiar. So that can also be from a past life where you've met each other or you've known each
Yes.
other.
Yes. And the
So
deja vu
yeah,
you feel from places. When you go to
yes,
different places, you'll feel familiar or you'll understand if I walk down this street, turn right, go down, I know exactly
yes,
where I am. That's your deja vu from other lifetimes. So Abby, a really good question. And she's even gone, thank you. Yes, that's perfect. So we're on the money with that one. So that's good. Abby, that's a great question. I like the way that you think on such deep levels that
good
you're
work, Abby.
understanding that sometimes the stuff I'm feeling in this lifetime happens from other lifetimes. Here we go.
Yeah,
We've got one from Belinda Stodge. Hey, Charles and Joe. Well, good evening, Belinda. Welcome. It's good to have you on board. Ask us any questions you've got. We've got lots of wisdom here. And I think Joe and I have both logged in to our connections before we've
yeah,
started. So if we need some guidance for you guys, we can get onto it. We can share that with you. So this is a great opportunity, guys, to ask us whatever questions you want to ask us so that we can answer them for you. Okay. So
yes.
I've done
And so
two of my questions. Sorry, Joe, go
I
on.
have got some here when you're ready. Yep.
Did you have any questions that have been emailed to you, Joe, or sent to you thus
Oh,
far?
yep. So mine is, how do I get over a relationship and stop looping in thoughts?
Oh, I like that. Okay. So how do I get over a relationship and stop looping my thoughts?
Yeah.
Wow. It depends. How deep do you reckon the relationship was?
I feel like the girl that asked me this, it's what, and I feel like this is a really big common thing. So I feel like the person that she was with didn't want a big relationship, if that makes sense. So they would they would have a few weeks of intenseness, but then
Yep.
because that partner didn't want to commit, then he would ghost her and
Yep.
then leave it for 2 weeks and then reconnect back with her, and then it would happen for 2 weeks and then he would ghost her. So it's like she was on a seesaw, trying to, for me, I was like, well, babe, it's all about your boundaries and what your expectations are. And for
Yep.
me, that wouldn't be enough for me. I would want, and if it's only new, you can't ask for a big commitment. But you need to have some level playing ground, because that emotional seesaw, no good for anyone.
It's not. And that's what she's got to realize, how is this serving my highest good? How is this working for me? And what am I getting from this? And if it's, on, off, on, off, on, off. And that's where you've got
Yeah.
to have, as you said, boundaries put in place so
Yes.
that it can shift, it can change, and then she
Yes.
can try and get out of those looping thoughts. And that's the thing with the looping thoughts, she's got to get out of that pattern, because she's creating
Yes.
a pattern that she's just following. Would you say that that's a part of a narcissistic trait as well, that they'll set you free and then hook you back in, and then they'll set you free again and hook you back in?
And the interesting thing is that her mum and dad divorced, and that's how what her dad did to her. Like, so he'd
Wow.
go love bomber, so to speak, not like in a dad point of view, and then he'd
Give her all the attention that she needs.
and then he wouldn't talk to her for weeks, and then he'd do it again, and I said, do you see that the pattern here, and this is probably a past life thing too, the pattern here is that you need to set your intentions and tell the person what your expectations are. So therefore, you wouldn't, for me, I wouldn't even get half, like the first time that happened, I would delete their number and go, not good enough.
Yes. I demand more than that. I want better. I don't want to sit there and have that go on. Do you know what I mean? Nah, I'm not playing
Yeah.
that game.
No.
Okay, well, that's a good question. Your customer has posed you a good question. I
Yeah.
had another one here. How do I connect to more? Okay. How do I connect to more? And that's a really interesting question, because it's like, what do you call more? Do you know? And I want to connect to higher beings or angels or archangels or whatever that is. Okay. So how does somebody that might, want to start their spiritual journey, Joe, how would you consider, or how would you recommend they start their pursuit of connecting to bigger realms, to higher people?
My biggest one is, I think that when people learn to meditate, it does a few things. So, you're clearing away old baggage that is holding you down, because that can weigh your vibration down. And it's also, you're learning to feel what your spirit guides feel like and your higher self feels like. You're calling in, with all my meditations that I do for my students, they're calling in the archangels. So they're getting a feeling of the archangels. So for me, that's an internal way that you want to start meditating and clearing that way, and increasing your vibration, because, they say when you meditate for 20 minutes, it equals like the energy of 3 hours sleep.
Wow.
So I often talk to my students about, you want to meditate at least 3 to 4 times a week to help increase your vibration. But it's also on another level, like, now it's not that I tell people you can't drink, but, drinking does lower your vibration, and so does recreational drugs. So I don't have this staunch rule within myself that I don't drink, but I would be lucky to drink 2 or 3 times a year. Just because I don't drink on a school night, because it lowers my vibration. So I think eliminating, and even for me this year, I found that sugar also lowers my frequency. So I very rarely have sugar now, or like stodgy carbs and things like that. So I think for me, it's spiritual, but there's also a physical aspect where you don't want to hang around all the turkeys if you want to soar like an eagle. So it might be that, you can't, it's low frequency to natter and gossip with your friends. So it could be in a whole lot of levels that you want to start clearing a pathway of a crisper energy for yourself. What about you, Charles?
Something else you can do is this. Start with a book. Okay?
Yes.
Start with a book. Doesn't have to be this, but this is Joe's book. For anybody that doesn't know, this is Joe's book, How You Can Heal Within. There are tools in here. There are meditations in here. Start with the book. And for me, it was a case of, I wanted to start with past lifetimes. So I would go and read all of Brian Weiss's books and get my head around those and do past lifetime meditations. This allows you to get to a nice state in your mind where you can just be, and you don't have those thoughts interrupting your head or anything like that. So it's a case of do something that fills your heart. Now, that could be numerology, astrology, clairvoyant healing. I just had a beautiful class of 3 women. Oh my God, they all started week 1. By the time they got to week 7, they were all completely different women because they were allowing themselves, and that's the key, I think, as well. They allowed themselves to be able to connect to more. Some people have blinkers on that they say to themselves, I don't want to see, I don't want to know that that's real. So they have that mindset that I can't connect to more. So if you're wanting to connect to more and have more of a spiritual experience on this planet, start educating yourself. Okay. Start learning something about who you are, what makes you tick. And then when you're done with you, start looking at where your passions might be, because that will start to allow you to climb higher. And then off you go. Abby's got a good answer to this question too. Abby, I love that you're interacting. So, guys, you can interact with us on the live chat button under the screen that you're watching on. So if you're on a mobile device, you can live chat with us. Abby's got a, here we go. I have found you need to connect with yourself and the world around you, with nature, wildlife, weather patterns, etc. If you're disconnected in this space, then you will struggle with more connection. And I think that's a really good point, Abby, because we are all consciousness. Understanding the wind has a part to play. Understanding the sun, the rain, the birds, the bees, the ocean, the grass, the weeds, all of that is consciousness. And what you've got to do is look at all of those things as sentient beings. And trust me, if I'm vacuuming the house and I vacuum into a chair or a wall, I know it's consciousness. So I'll apologize to the chair or the wall. That allows me to connect on it or connect to it on a higher level. It's not just a thing, it's a sentient being. It has consciousness. So this is what I think people need to start doing is connect on a higher level. But who are you first? And then how do I connect with bigger things? How do I go more in that space? So that's really good. But I would say, connecting more is educate yourself. Okay. Read what your passions are. And it could be, Belinda Stodd, she's a crystal girl. Read about the crystals. Crystals are sentient beings. Connect with them because there are crystal divas. When you start digging that hole, you'll go deeper and you'll start finding things that you never knew existed. And then it's going to be off we go. Okay. Really good. Really good question. Okay. Have you got any other questions there, Joe?
Oh, mine, which I think we kind of answered, how do I increase my energy? Which I think we've already answered that question so far anyway. So
yeah, and I think with that question too, how do I increase my energy? People, and you said it a minute ago, people often look to sugar for energy. Sugar wants to deplete your energy. Sugar doesn't want to help you in any way, shape, nor form. So people think energy drinks are going to give me more. They actually deplete you more. Come back to water. Come back to, water. Come back to sparkling water. Get off the caffeinated stuff because it actually makes you tired and it spikes your body. And what will happen is it'll drop your body. And that's so energy drinks, they're not energy. It's just the energy is caffeine. It's a stimulant that'll keep you up for a little bit and then you'll come crashing down. Okay. Here we go. Another question from, sorry, go on, Joe.
Oh, no, I was going to say it's interesting with water where I was listening to someone on through their podcast and they were saying how if even when we have a cup of water, we ask Archangel Raphael to bless this water, it will increase the world's energy vibration because we're 70% water. So if everyone did that, it would dramatically change the vibration of Earth. So it's pretty amazing.
And see how special is that? Correct. Because we are water. That's why when the full moon's out too, that we go, so sometimes people go so loopy because the water, the moon is affected by tides. And if we're 70% water, it's going to be, we get affected by that too. So it's a really good point, Joe. I love that. Here we go. Got a question for you. What books would you recommend for past lives? I've been so intrigued and drawn to know more. Really good question, Belinda. Joe, have you got any recommendations? Otherwise, I can help with this one too.
Yeah. I love Doris. What's her name?
Dolores
Cannon.
Dolores Cannon.
Dolores. That's it. Dolores Cannon. She's my favorite one. And she does quantum, past life hypnotherapy as well. But I found all her books amazing. I think I've read them all. What about you, Charles?
Yeah. I started with a man called Dr. Brian Weiss and if you start with his book called Many Masters, Many Lives, it is the most amazing book on how it can start. So he's a doctor. He was a psychiatrist, didn't believe in past lifetimes at all. Had this woman, and she was his case study. And she was at a point in her life that she was about to be, I think, committed to a psychiatric ward because nobody could help her. And over the course of 18 months, he was trying to help her, and he kept suggesting to her hypnosis, but she wasn't ready. And then all of a sudden, she was clutching at straws, and she goes, I'll do this. Okay. So she did it. And he just said to her, go back as far as you can to where the problem started. In his mindset, he was thinking, you'll go back to childhood, in this life as a child. And then she goes back 1800 years. And that's how it starts for him. So it's really good to see it from a medical perspective first, and how that experience changed his life as a doctor, because he then spent his lifetime looking at past lives. Now, Belinda, what he then discovered was you could also look at future lives. So if you need him, his name is Dr. Brian Weiss, or Weiss, however you might want to say it. And here's a really good introduction to start you off on that mindset. And then, as Joe said, one of our favorite authors is Dolores Cannon. She takes it to another level where you will see the past lifetimes and then bring in the higher self. And that's what I did today for 7 hours. I had a beautiful customer today, and one of the lifetimes that we got to see was that person in the 9th dimension, happening simultaneously to the life that was happening today. So it was very powerful. So start off with something like Brian Weiss, because Many Masters, Many Lives is a really good book to set the framework about why past lives happen, how they can influence your life today, and then how you can, with that wisdom, shift out of fear that you might have, or any misunderstandings you might have about your life and who you actually are. So really good question. If you need any more information, Belinda, drop us a comment. We're going to upload the video later. Drop us a comment and I can send you some details on those books, because they're really, really worthwhile. Great question. Anybody else got questions like that? Please flick them to us in the live chat, just down below from where we are on the screen. We love your questions. Bring them on and we can help you with them. All right, Joe, I've got another question here because I've got a few this week. Best way to clear my mind. Best way to clear my mind.
Well, I think sometimes it's I love to go for a big dunk in the ocean because I live close to the ocean. So
perfect.
Yeah, big old 3 dunks under the water helps clear my mind, and especially like if you're in a bit of a funk. The other thing today, I went with a friend and we did some hot and cold plunging in the pools. So that was good.
And I was just about to say that. Go into the cold water. It's going to turn that head off straight away and make you very present that you're feeling this immense cold around your body.
Yeah. So a hot and cold plunge, particularly if it's like magnesium water, is fantastic. I often will go and lay out on the grass, I find, and I ask Mother Earth or, Lady Gaia to take away all my negative energy or things that no longer serve me.
Yeah, I think that's very powerful. I do the same sort of things, Joe. I like to go into the water, and when I'm in the water, I also ask the water to cleanse my body, cleanse everything away from me. Anything that I don't need, cleanse it away. And the water is just about being present. And that's the best way to clear your mind. Be present. Lying on the grass, same sort of thing. Meditating. Listen to a guided meditation. So if you can't meditate by going, that's too hard for most people. But if you listen to a guided meditation, you're just waiting for their words to come and you're pushing out things that might come into your head. The other thing that I like to do, and it's very simple, is breathing. Okay, just breathe it. Breathe in and hold it for a few seconds and breathe it out. What that does, it wants to send to you and it wants to bring you back down to a pace or space of peace and calm. Now, the other thing that you can do, clearing your mind too, will be some crystal energy. Okay, selenite is really good. I have a selenite bracelet. Okay, it helps keep my mind clear so that I can do that. Okay, the other thing, if your mind is always busy and there's constant noise, constant chatter, lepidolite. Lepidolite has a bit of a lithium content to it, and it wants to bring the mind back into, calm, peace, and quiet. So we've got lots of things that we can do, and they're cost effective. Breathing costs you nothing. Going to the beach might cost you a little bit of petrol, but going or plunge in a cold bath if you've got a bath at home. They're all perfect. Okay, good. Then we're getting some, and now we've got another question. Here we go. Love this one. EK 19801. What a funny number that is. Do you think when our loved ones pass over that they help us make the connection to spirit? I feel like have the passing of a loved one makes people feel that it enhances their connection to spirit. Really interesting question. I like that. Joe, do you want to go with that one first?
Sure. I think that it helps you definitely with your connection, because for some people who may not have any belief in that, if they then have a really strong experience with sensing their passed over loved one, then it will actually then help them go, oh, there is something here. You know, you don't just die and that's it. So I feel like that's a really good thing. I get lots of people when they come to see me and they go, since my mum died, I keep seeing butterflies. And I go, well, that's your way, or the way your mum is connecting with you. So, so I think it does help when a loved one passes over. I feel like for me, my biggest connection was when my girlfriend, when I was 23, died. One of my best friends, Karen. And I remember thinking that she couldn't have left me like now. She would have to be somewhere and reconnecting with me, which she does. I can smell her and I get a sense of her around. But it was a turning point for me to then change the total direction of my life, of how I would have done it if she hadn't have died, and connecting with spirit.
I said that's a great way to do it. And I think this question is really, really relevant, really, really valid. To answer the question bluntly, yes, I do. Because as you just said, people will see butterflies, they'll see birds, they'll see rainbows, they'll get feathers. They might be putting out the clothes. I've often put out the clothes on the clothesline, and I might smell perfume or white king, something like that. You're getting messages from the spirit world to let you know, hey, I'm here with you. Connect with me. And that's the other thing. Unless you speak to them, okay, in a way that, in your head, or, hey, what are you doing? They want to talk to you, but you've got to ask them for help. You've got to ask, you've got to keep that communication going. When you can start doing that communication, you'll get guidance from spirit. And then what will happen is that this ties into that question before. How can I do more? How can I see more? How can I connect more? Talking to your angels, talking to your spirit team, talking to the loved ones that have passed away. You're engaging them to connect with you. A really good way to engage with them is say, come to me in my dreams, because that might be easy for them to come to you in your dream state than it will be for them to come to you when you're conscious and waking. Because when you're conscious in the awakened state, you got this thing called ego, which creates interference. But when you're asleep, you're open, you're available, and they want to come to you. So really good question. Yes, I think when you have a loved one that you're really close to passes away, they want to connect you with the spirit world. And even if it's just you and them, but they're giving you a belief that something more is happening. There is something greater than what we know. Great question. Flick us some more questions, guys, because we love answering your questions. Which one is it? That's that one there. So there we go. So that's that question. And if you've got any questions about, health, let us know, because we can go through this is a huge dictionary. Joe's got some books there on health. And if you're having any recurring dreams, like I know people that dream and then it comes into reality. What that is, it's not dreaming, guys. That's you going into the astral realm and going, I want to just fast forward my life a little bit, see what's coming. And then you're going into the astral, you're seeing stuff, and it's like, oh, I like that. And then you come back to your body, and then the next day or 2 days or a week or a month, you're actually coming into that reality. You're just jumping the timeline into the astral field to go and see what's happening. So if you've got any questions about dreams or health ailments or anything like that, hit us with the questions, because a classic example with health, and I couldn't, if you had have asked me to put it together, I wouldn't have been able to. My customer had a customer a few days ago, had a heart attack. I was like, wow, okay. And who knew that the heart was connected to your left hand? Who knew? I didn't know. I picked it up in my book, and once I made that connection, and I said to the customer, did you know that the heart is about you receiving? Okay, left hand receiving. And the poor customer had they got numbness in their left hand. And I said, you need to start opening up your heart to receive, allow yourself to receive. And then that will help the numbness dissipate over time. This is how your body is the most amazing machine. And I really want people to start releasing emotions. So if you've got any issues with your health, start tapping away on that keyboard so that we can try and give you the guidance that you might just need that opens it up.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like even for me, I have had slight, not big things with my knee and my heel. And it's just because I launched a book and I had to launch myself forward and be in the unknown. And then I'm also doing lots of development with alchemy and putting wellness things out the back with float tanks and things. So it's that whole of moving forward thing, and it's interesting with that. And but I have to keep saying to my body, it's all good. We'll just make small steps. We don't have to make big steps. It's just small steps that will lead into big things. But it's interesting what fear we hold in our body, isn't it?
Correct. Fear, trauma, all of that sort of stuff. So here we go. They're coming in now, Joe. Let's go. So I have foot pain on the bottom right foot, plantar fasciitis. What do you
That's what
think
I've got.
this is about? Oh, do you? Okay.
So this is fear of making the next step, Abby.
Okay.
So have you got any thoughts about, what you think you want to do next in this lifetime? And because this year's a 9-year, that's about letting go of all old patterning and clearing and finishing things. So sometimes it can be, it's that, but it also can be, stepping into your new life for next year because it's a 1 year. So
Yeah.
I would look at that, Abby, because that's generally about feet and legs moving forward in your life.
Yeah, and I agree because on a quantum healing level, when I do the QHHT, it's about the right part of your body is the now. Okay. So right foot is about the now moving forward. And it's a case about you got to take that step. So something's preventing you from taking the step, find out what that prevention is, and then deal with it, Abby. Move on. So then we can just get on with that. But yeah, really good question. I have foot pain on the bottom right foot. So that's what that is. What do you think this is about? Okay. All right, next one. Are there basic concepts that you feel would be helpful or benefit people when trying to understand their symptoms? Yes, definitely. EK 19801. I love that. Yes, definitely. Because it's a case of your hands. Hands are what you hold on to. Okay. People get rheumatoid arthritis in their hands, in their joints, because they're holding on to things they need to let go of. Shoulders, carrying the burdens of the world on your shoulders. Okay. Start releasing the burdens. You don't have to carry the world on your shoulders. That's up to you, but you don't have to. And the hips are the same. I'm carrying things on my hips that I no longer need to carry. Okay. Legs, knees, ankles, feet, like we've just discussed, are about your journey. What I'm walking, okay? Am I on the right path? If you've got leg issues, maybe you're on the wrong path. So you've got stuff like that. Lower back is about not feeling supported, okay? So if you've got lower back strain or pain or whatever that might be, you might be feeling like I'm not supported. So then look at your life and think, where do I need support here? Who do I feel like is not supporting me? And I might need to have a conversation that I need your support in this, whatever that might look like. Okay. That's what this all is. Okay. Ears, I don't want to hear. Okay. I'm not hearing things. Eyes, I don't want to see. Okay. The nose, a pressure. You get sinus problems, ask yourself, where's the pressure? Because for me, when I get sinus, the first thing I'll ask myself, Charles, where's the pressure in your life? Find the pressure, deal with it, release it, and it will just dissipate. What about you, Joe?
I 100% believe in all of those things that you're saying. And sometimes with feet, I just read it in my book, this one. It says, if you have acute pain like plantar fasciitis, it's sometimes, and this is also me, is I don't allow myself to rest. And I'm always on the fly, which that would be the story of my life. So, yes, it's give your body time to rest.
And that's the thing.
If that helps, Abby.
No, but that's really powerful because as human beings, we're made to feel guilty if you want to spend a day on the couch watching Netflix. One of the ladies that I listened to when I listened to her channeling, she goes, oh my goodness gracious me, your bodies are not designed to go 24/7. Your bodies need rest. And rest doesn't always have to be on the phone or whatever. It can just be reading a book on the couch, but that's what your body needs. It needs just time to regenerate, it needs time to heal itself. So don't feel guilty about resting. So that's a very valid point, Joe, that we are made to feel guilty. What are you doing? I'm lying on the couch, but you could vacuum. No, no, no. Leave the vacuum for another day. Just rest
Yeah.
and let your body heal. And that's really, really good. Here we go. Next one. EK 19801. Like I have the same pain, okay? No diagnosis, just persistent pain in my right hip. What emotions aren't letting me release this pain? Why do you feel like you're carrying the world, darling? Because that's what I feel like it is. Your right hip is about you carrying the world and it's in the now. It's like, why am I carrying the world now? What can I let go of? Or what is that emotion?
Yes.
I've just made my glasses come down like a professor while I just quickly look at my book, darling. And we're
I'll
going to
have a
have a
look
look
at you.
because my eyes don't want to work. I just don't want to see what's coming in my future. That's what that is, hips.
It's well, my book is saying it's you're making it hard to face decisions or make a decision and to step forward confidently. So therefore you're the spiritual block, to uncover the spiritual block that keeps you from responding to the needs of you being referred. Key question at the back of the book. So rather than you feeling that you aren't getting anywhere, trying to move slightly ahead, not just stagnating.
100%. Okay. Hence my indecisiveness about advancing in life. So your hips are, I'm holding back. Maybe I just need to let go and just take a chance in myself. Do you know what I mean? Because okay, when my hips hurt, okay, my body sends me a message. There is an imbalance in me. I can't impose my ideas and my personality. So I turn to submission. So I'm sending it back to myself. I am angry because others don't see my needs. So you're putting other people before yourself and start putting yourself first, okay? I wish they would respond to my needs without having to ask for it, okay? When I feel some pain, there is some sort of guilt. So if you're starting to feel this pain, you're feeling guilty about wanting your needs met. And it's like, no. Don't feel any guilt there. Start putting your needs out there. Because if you don't, some people are very oblivious to understanding what your needs might be. So you might need to increase your throat chakra and start expressing, I need you to do this for me. I need you to do that for me. And then you start watching the hip pain will start shifting. Really good question. Really good question. Okay. And you've got another one, EK 19801. What about when it's left or right? Okay, good. So on a quantum healing level, the left is the past. Could be this lifetime, but it could also be your past lifetime. The right is the now. So that's how you can differentiate whether it's happened now or in the past. Okay. So you've got that question. Now, there's a Reiki belief as well that one side is male, one side is female. Have you heard that, Joe?
Yeah. I don't feel like that resonates with my belief system. But I'm more about left is last and right is now. But what about you? You believe in that?
I agree 100%. I agree that, this is a Dolores Cannon thing, so I trust her implicitly. She's done 40 years of research. So if I can't trust her research over 40 years, I've got a problem. But I agree. The left is your past life or now, like past in this lifetime. And the right is the now. That's how you can differentiate. Because if it's past, it could have been childhood trauma, could have been stuff like that. So then you can do some inner child work, okay? If it's the right, it's the now. I never subscribe to one side is male, one side is female, because everything has a masculine and a feminine. You've got divine feminine sitting inside you. You've got a divine masculine sitting inside you. So that's how I see the body. And it's funny because my teachers, all of the teachers that I've had so far have never differentiated left is masculine, right is feminine, or vice versa. Never had it. But I've heard other people come to me and say, but that's the left, that's the masculine, that's the feminine. It's like, I don't think it works like that because we're all complete. There's no division between us, if that makes sense. I could be wrong. I could be, totally off guard, but that's how I see it. And what I have to do is trust what I know about me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And isn't it interesting, like on the left side, most women statistically, if they're going to get breast cancer, will get it in their left breast. And isn't that interesting? Because it's emotions that they're holding on to in this lifetime that have, past that has happened, or from past lives that they're doing it. So
And I agree, Joe. And that's the thing, because think of it like this: the emotion that's been sitting in the left breast has had time to fester. It's never been
Yes.
worked on. Nobody's done the inner child work to help that release. So the suppressed emotion that's been in that breast has had, possibly 20, 30, 40, 50 years to sit there and
Yeah.
fester. And if we don't deal with it, it turns itself into dis-ease. So that's what that is. Whereas the right side possibly has only got 10, 15, 20 years, and I've got time to deal with that. Or I could still be in a relationship with that person that I might have started speaking up for myself. So it's dissipated. But yeah, I love it. Here we go. Yep, that's pretty spot on. I'm going to work on that. Thank you. That was EK 19801 about the right hip. So really, really interesting that resonated. So our books are good. So that's the thing. So think of it like this, guys. There are publications that are out there that will help you. Now, we're not giving you any medical advice here. If you feel like you need medical advice, please go and see your local healthcare professional. Okay. But this is just how you can help yourself on an emotional level. Okay. Because sometimes your emotions will manifest as physical symptoms. How many times have you gone to the doctor and the doctor says, there's nothing I can see, there's nothing there, there's nothing wrong with you, yet you feel the pain? That's an emotional condition that you've got to release. Okay. What are the books you're using and the authors, please? Joe, do you want to go first with that one?
Oh, yeah, sure. This one is Love Yourself. And I don't know how to say Lisa's last name. This is Lisa's,
Lisa Bobo. Lisa Bobo.
So that's the one that I love, and because it's got emotional, physical, and spiritual. So it's got 3 different things about why you got it.
Yep.
Then the one that like You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hayes. In the back here, I think she was the one that probably started it. Like there's all like the problem, and then she's got the problem cause and the new thought pattern, like a new affirmation. So they're my 2 I like. Yeah.
There's another one that you can use. It's a bright yellow one. I don't actually have it here because I sell it. When I get it, it sells out very quickly. How to Heal Your Body by Ina Segal. She's an Australian woman as well. Again, it talks about the emotional side. This is one that I just got because I heard this on a lecture. And this is a book that's been out of print for about 10, 11 years. So you're going to have to source a secondhand copy. And it is quite difficult to get a secondhand copy without having to pay through the nose. This is the Complete Dictionary of Ailments and Diseases by Jacques Martel. He's a Canadian. This is the complete version. You can see how thick it is. There are condensed versions that are a lot smaller. Maybe you want to start with that, build up to this. But the podcast that I listened to recommended this. So I was trolling the internet for a very long time before I was able to get this. Okay, so take your time, because on eBay, this one can, a secondhand copy can go for $400 or $500. Yet I was able to score this one for about 120 from a company called Books Run. It's American, but it's where people will hand their technical books back. So you might find some copies there. Okay, so that's good question, because sometimes it's hard to find something that you trust or a guide that you trust. So it's very, very special. Now, Joe, we've got about 10 minutes left. Do you want to start pulling cards for anyone that might want to have a bit of a card, a bit of a read or something like that? So we've both got cards. So we can alternate. So if you would like a read, could somebody with anxiety, okay, got a question. I'm going to pop it up. Could somebody with anxiety do any of these sessions that you offer? Of course. I had a lady last night dealing with massive accounts of anxiety, and that was causing her some stomach issues, and we calmed her right down. So anxiety is a state of mind. What I would suggest you do is try and make yourself present. If you can make yourself present, you're turning it off. Okay. Look, I'm going to start with you, Belinda Stodge. This card just jumped out for you. We're talking about anxiety, and this card is telling you to ground yourself. Okay. See the tree? The tree has roots, my love. Ground yourself and turn the mind off. And then the universe will start showing you options, because you see X, Y, and Z here, and then it wants to give you A. So, Belinda, we can help you with healings. We can help you with things like Pelawa. And Joe does a lot of angelic work. She talks to the archangels. She does medical intuition, all of that stuff. So we can do things, all right? There are things that you can do. Don't feel like you can't do it, okay?
No, and Belinda, with that one there, I would work with people with anxiety. I work on their vagus nerve a lot. So you can Google an image of the vagus nerve. It sort of starts at the back of your neck and then it kind of goes through. It's like a tree root system through all your organs of your body. When physically it doesn't move in your body, but spiritually, when you've got anxiety, often I see like the vagus nerve is stuck here. So you can ask Archangel Raphael with his beautiful emerald green energy. In your mind's eye, imagine green energy going through your whole body, through the vagus nerve, healing it and calming it down. So if someone comes to me with anxiety, that's exactly what I do. I sort through the archangels heal that with them.
There you go. Good. All right. So here we go. SMTA Hunter would love a card reading by Joe. There you go,
Okay.
Joe. You're being requested, Joe. I love that.
Fantastic. Let's have a look here. Okay, we're picking this one. Oh, this is a beautiful one. Okay, so this is the 8 of water. I'll just pass it here so you can have a little look here.
8 of water.
Yeah. So this one here is it's like you're trying to, or they're saying to start searching for what fulfills you and empowers you. And it's also start trusting your intuition. So with the card here, when someone gets this card with me, see how there's that angel there? It's starting to trust your intuition of what you're wanting to do in life and start to make small little steps. And with intuition, sometimes it's just awakening, going, I feel like I'm going to go this way and drive this way to work today. And sometimes you'll go, I'll just do it because that's what I feel like I should do. And I remember this is one of the main ones was me when I was starting. And then I went a different way. And then when I got to work, the girls were like, oh, we're all going to be late because we went the main road and there's a car accident. And I was like, oh, my God. That was, I got told not to do that. So I remember it was really ridiculous, really. But that was one of the things that started me getting me on my, I'm going to listen to my intuition, because it got me to work on time. So, this is a really beautiful one. So it's just about, searching, empowering yourself and fulfilling, but it's starting with listening to your intuition if you can.
Good work. Love that. There you go, SMTA Hunter.
Thank
now,
you for
Abby wants a
requesting
card. Do you want to do a card or should I do this one? What do you want to do? You tell me. All right, Abby, I'm going to do a card for you. Abby Blue Witch. Here we go. I'm just going to pull a random card. Oh, look at you, the 6 of Swords. Okay. So water is very important for you. Water wants to help cleanse you and calm you down. Now, the 6 of Swords wants your thinking to be aligned and straight. And what that wants to do for you, Abby, is it wants to take you from a place of having not a lot to abundance, okay? This is indicating for me, for you, Abby, that there's a small trip coming. You need to take a small trip. You need to be on a journey somewhere. Could be just a weekend away. Dalesford, Hepburn Springs, depending on where you are. That's Victoria, depending on where you are. But see this? It wants to allow you that creative side with the wand. So you need to start considering a small trip away to align your thinking, okay? Be somewhere near water, because the water wants to cleanse you, but it wants to open you up to different possibilities. And she's got a lot of purple on, so it really wants to push your intuition to much higher levels, okay? So that's yours, Abby. So that's good. Belinda's just coming back with another comment for the anxiety. It's more my daughter than me. That's fine. Children can have energy as well. Depends on how old they are. Sometimes children will go through anxiety depending on what transitional state they're at in life. They might feel uncomfortable and unsure. So that's not an issue. Abby Blue, which has gone. Belinda, book with Charles. Anxiety be gone. Thank you very much. Alyssa, yes, card, please. Joe, if you want to do this one,
absolutely.
Let's go with that.
With your daughter, providing she's not too little to swallow crystals, I used to give my daughter a little pouch of crystals to put in her pocket. And I'd say, this will make you feel better and stop making you feel sick in the tummy. And, I remember my daughter's name is Lexi. She came home and went, that really made a difference. So then we had it in her little pocket in her skirt that she used to wear in primary school. So, so I think sometimes, is it the placebo effect? But, just gives them a little something to focus on.
Even if it is a placebo effect, it still works, Joe. It still works.
Yes. Oh, I love this one. So this is Knight of Fire. So I love this one. This is a really good one.
This is
So this one
this is
here,
the
when
EK
it's the night.
198. Yep.
Oh, sorry, what did you say, Charles?
No, I said this is for EK 19801.
Oh, yes, yes. So this one here, it's confidence, passion, and adventure. So it's more like they are saying to you, what are you stalling? Let's, have the adventure that you're wanting to do. So, and then the angel message, you are the perfect person to take on this situation. We are here to assist you. We want you to include us, meaning the guides, where you want to go. And it's time for you to explore, expand, and to step into your confidence, because the night is like the confidence, like they're forging the way, if that makes sense. So yeah, so if that's if you have that on your mind, worried about those sort of things or concerned, I would say go for it.
There we go. See? Love it. Thank you, Joe. That's from SMTA Hunter. That was for your reading.
Yes.
So that's good.
Yes.
We've got Belinda Stodge here saying thank you for the advice. That's great. Abby Blue Witch. Already booked you, clever man. There we go. See, the cards don't lie. So this is going to be a really good trip for you that the universe needs you to have. This is why some people underestimate the power of oracle cards and tarot cards. They can just, even if it's just a reaffirmation of what you already know, it allows you to have that clarity in your mind. Yep, I'm making the right decision. I'm going the step I need to follow. So let's go with that. Let's make that happen. Yeah. So that's a powerful thing. That's a good thing. So well done.
Yeah, same with my book. My book is an oracle book. So you can flick to the book to a page, and then that, and some of them have a meditation that you can do, and some of them just have a definition. So yeah.
And you'll see that most of them that have a meditation will have a QR code. So you just QR code and the meditation is there that can help you. So that could be like meeting your spirit guide or whatever that might be. So this is Joe's book. You can get it from Joe's website, joanneplater.com.au. Where else can they get it, Joe?
Booktopia, Amazon, the Nile, Dimix have it on there online. I think that's there's a few more, but Amazon, Booktopia, Barnes and Noble, all the good ones have it. So yeah, if you're in the Coffs Harbour area, you could pop into Alchemy in Bellingen. We've got copies as well. Or you can private message me and I can mail you a copy. I think it's $9.50 to post it anywhere in Australia.
So. It's a great read, guys. I've read it. It's a great read. More comments coming through. I love it. Thank you so much. That was the reading about the night that you just had. That's from EK 19801. Abby's just sent us another message. Thank you both so much. This has been a wonderful way to spend an evening. Thank you, everyone. So let me ask you a question, guys. Would you like to do this again? Would you like to do it more often? Let us know if this has been beneficial to you and if you would like to do it more frequently, just to keep you on your spiritual journey. Because if this is something that we can, create more confident people and more aware and awake and ascended people, this might be good for you to help yourselves, then you can help other people.
Absolutely. The ripple effect. I love the ripple effect.
Right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. All right, guys, that's exactly 1 hour. Joe, we timed that really well. We're very good. Guys, thank you so much for all of your questions, for all of your support. Those that have just emailed me questions during the week. Here we go. Anna Destratus. Love listening to your podcast. Thank you so much, Anna. We love that. Belinda Stodge. Absolutely love it. This is great. What else have we got? Abby Blue Witch. Yes, we want more of these. That's fine. And we've got, yes, Love the Live from SMTA Hunter. And then EK 19801. Absolutely yes. All right, so we'll come together and we'll work out when we can do them. And then off we go. Here we go. Cynthia. Yes, please. DD. And I missed the beginning. All right, Joe, do you want to give her a card? Let's give her a card. And
sure.
We'll see what wants to come up for Cynthia.
Okay. I feel like this card here. Cool. This one. Okay, so this one here is seven of air. Oh, hang on. I'm not doing it properly. Here we are. And this one here is all about just being aware. I often, when I get this one, being aware of your thoughts. Whether you're sometimes can be, your own worst enemy, if that makes sense. So where you can be a bit negative and get overwhelmed with worry about things. So it's just being cautious with your thoughts, but not like it's just with your negative thoughts. If you're a bit down on yourself or you spiral a little bit, it's like you'd have to sort of say, cancel that thought. I'm not going down that path today. I'm going to stay in the positive lane. And just if you can re-listen about when you do have a negative thought, go out in the ocean, go for a walk, even having a shower, smelling some essential oils. It's just so then you don't spiral, and then your consequences of being in a negative rut can be negative. And the guides up says they don't want that. So, yeah.
Love it. Okay, Jo, you just raised a really good point. So I just want to question you a little bit more about that. When you're in that way, what essential oils would you recommend for people to,
Yes.
either put in their diffuser or pop on their skin? What would you recommend of?
So I love orange, anything citrusy and orange, because orange is like the oil of joy. So, so that's a good one. Lavender, if you feel like you're a bit heightened and a bit anxious, to calm down. If you feel like you're out of body, rosemary, and even rosemary, the other day I was at my friend's house and she has an outdoor shower, and she had the biggest bit of rosemary on her shower nozzle tied to it with string. And I was like, oh, look at you go there. And she goes, yeah, it's grounding. So because rosemary is really grounding. She said, so when the hot water hits the leaves, it's grounding me. It's also really good for your hair too. But so rosemary. I feel like sometimes if you, and this is like in your olfactory, which is the smelling center in your brain, if you are really happy, and we have this really beautiful formula here, and it's called Nourish, and it's got rosemary, lavender, and rose geranium in it. So no, it's got not rosemary, it's got mandarin, lavender, and rose geranium in it. And I smell that and it gives me happiness. So when I feel low, I'll have some in my handbag to smell it, because my olfactory smelling center in my brain will reignite my happiness, because that's the memory that I have of that. Does that make sense? It's like if I smell impulse from my childhood, teenage years, it sends me straight back to being being a high school girl. And it's like, oh my gosh, how can that do? So sometimes you can have a smell, and same with my children. Like I would do that, have it on a hanky and go, when you smell that, that's telling you that mum loves you and mum supports you when you're at school. Does that make sense? So
how good's that? I love that. And you're so right. Find something that makes you happy scent-wise, and then use that, because you're triggering your mind, your brain, to smell that scent, and your brain relates that straight away to happiness. And it's like you've just picked yourself up.
Yeah. So I love this essence of smell. That's my big thing. And I was so happy when I did my aromatherapy course about learning about all of the meanings of essential oils and how to use them on our bodies.
Love it. There you go. Look, that's so cute, Jo. We love that. And then Cynthia's gone, yep, definitely. Thank you so much. Well, this has been great, guys. I hope you enjoyed our first live. Jo and I will speak and we'll schedule the next one. But get your questions ready on whatever you might want to talk about, because we're here to guide you and help you wherever we can within our capabilities. And then off we go. Hold on. Can Danielle have a reading? She can't message. Okay, that's the Dee. Oh, I get it. Yes, please, Dee, and I missed the beginning. All right, Jo, do you want to give Danielle a reading?
Sure.
They love your cards, Jo. They love your cards. Dee and Cynthia, I love you both. And I think I've worked out who EK19801 is. And I love all of our viewers. I love you all. I do.
Okay. Alrighty. Oh, this is a good one. So this is Page of Air. So that one's there. So it's really cool. And this one talks about truthful, analytical, and outspoken. But sometimes with the sword there, they're just talking to me about just be careful sometimes, because sometimes you can cut off your abundance by what you're either saying to yourself or to others. So sometimes it's just like, be truthful, but just maybe maybe how you deliver it. It could be just be a bit gentler, but it's also, I feel like for Danielle, it's also be kind to yourself about how you talk to yourself, because I feel like sometimes your self-talk can be a bit hard on yourself, and you can, you're cutting yourself down. So just be a bit more gentle on yourself, Danielle. That would be what I'm feeling into that for you.
Love it, Joe. Love it. It's so good when you're connected to your cards because they just make complete sense, even though if you don't know the person, but you can just go, bang, that's what I have to tell you, and then off you go.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
beautiful. Well, there we go. So I've got Love Hearts from EK 19801. And then we've got Cynthia. Yeah. So it's all relevant for these girls. And people.
Yeah.
It's making sense. So this is great. All right, guys. We're gonna love you and leave you. But thank you so much for participating on our first ever live. We've loved having you. There you go, Joe. You got a thank you from Danielle. Okay.
Oh, bless.
So
Thank
this
you.
is good. Sean
Hopefully we
Michael's
can do it
gone.
once
Good.
a month.
Good job, guys. He
Oh,
didn't get a
bless
card, but
Sean.
that's okay. He didn't want one. That's not a problem. This is great, guys. So have a lovely evening. We're going to upload this for those that have missed it and get ready for the next one. Start writing down on a piece of paper that you might stick to the fridge questions you want to ask about the spiritual world and what's happening on a higher level and where we're going and where should I put my attention. Okay. So thank you so much.
That's okay. If anyone wants a reading with you, Charles, go to your Amanti Moon
Yes,
website.
I'll put the banners up. That's what I just put up a minute ago. So you got the banners here. So I am on amantimoon.com.au and I can do readings, healings, online or in person. And this is Joe, alchemyandbelgian.com.au or joanneplater.com.au. Joe's got a bit of a wait list, don't you, Joe?
Well, I have got a few spots. I've opened up a few more days in October. So I do have some spots in October now. So if anyone wants anything in October, there's some spots there. Or if not November, but I probably have about 6 spots opened up now. So that's good.
Perfect. All right, guys. Have a lovely week, and we'll see you next week with an interview about frequency. Okay? Yes. Enjoy.
Lots of love.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Bye.